Hello everyone, welcome to this episode. What is a map scale in the series of GIS and remote sensing? This series is brought to you by the Faculty of Forestry, the University of British Columbia. I'm Haitali, I will be your guide. This video talks about the definition of scale and the meaning of the scale under different situations. Map scale is the ratio of distance between 2 points on the map to the corresponding distance on the ground. And we can use these equations to illustrate the definitions. Map scale equal map distance divided by the ground distance. Here is the example. Following the red line on the ground, the distance is 1 kilometer. And then measure the distance at the same locations on the map. It's 10 centimeter. So the scale is calculated as 10 centimeter divided by 1 kilometer. And the scale or the ratio is 1 to 10,000. When making a map, we always put the scale on maps. The scale could be a ratio or scale bar. This is a reversed equation of previous one. Ground distance equal to map distance divided by scale. Based on these equations, we can measure the ground distance directly from a map if the map scale is provided. We call it a large scale if the value of a ratio is bigger, and the small scale for the less one. The large scale maps cover a smaller area. It's about a city or even small, with more details and high accuracies. A small scale map covers large area, such as country, provides with fewer details. If you are confused, just carry out the division. The large number is a large scale. The small number is a small scale. Canada uses a grid system to manage the nationwide topographic map. The National Topographic System, or NTS. The grid size are varied by the scale. It includes 1 to 1 million grid, 1 to 250 case, and 1 to 50 case. 1 to 50K NTS map tail cover an area is 1,000 square kilometer. These maps are used for forest management, wildfire control, environment issue, highway planning. A map at this scale can be used for almost any conceivable requirement. 1 to 250K map cover the areas of land as 16 maps with 1 to 15K scale. This scale is popular not only as a detailed overview of a large area, but also as a detailed road map for used when traversed on back road and side road. 1 to 1 million maps cover the same areas of land as 16 maps with 1 to 15K scale. Today, in most cases, we use digital map. The scale is changing when we zoom in or zoom out. The scale shown on the screen is a displayed scale. Additionally, the monitoring resolutions and data format such as TIFF, JPEG make ratio scale for digital maps unreliable because the ratio doesn't change when we zoom in or zoom out. For example, here, when we zoom in, and if we measure the distance here again, it's still 10 centimeter, but the distance on the real ground is completely different. However, the scale shown here is still 1 to 10,000. Since the scale bar changing simultaneously with maps, the scale bars will remain an accurate representation of map scale. This is the advantage to use a scale bars for digital maps. We can shrink or enlarge digital maps to any level, but changing the scale would not affect the original accuracy. Let's look at this example. Both of these two maps, the green one and the red one, have the BC coastline. When we zoom to the 1 to 5 million, both maps match the real coastline very well. Keep zooming to the 1 million. We noticed that the red one misses lots of detail, such as the coastline here. Even these islands are not recorded, but the green one still matches the real coastline very well. Keep zooming to the 1 to 10,000. The green one still keeps the high accuracy than the red one. Both the red map and the green map, we can zoom to any level, but the accuracies change lots. The difference occurs by the data source and the methods to create the map. Digital map doesn't have the static scale, but the original data accuracy limits the best scale ranges to display the map. We know a hardcopy map has a static scale, and the digital map has only one scale on each displayed window. Here comes our question. Is it possible a map has multiple scales in one display? Feel free to pause here and think about it. The answer is yes. The map projection distorts the surface unevenness on the map. Once the mapping area is large enough, the distortions cannot be ignored. The size of a circle shows the level of distortions. It also indicates the changing of the scale on this map. The scale keeps the same on the same latitude, but continually smaller following the longitude from the equator to the north or south. Therefore, we cannot use the same ruler to measure the distance on the small-scale maps. Today, the GIS softwares help us solve the problem, so we can directly use these measure tools to measure distance. Scale is a fundamental concept of cartography. It is a key to understand the map and geographical information. Thanks for watching. Feel free to contact us by the following contact information.